Now it is official, club football in Europe for the vast majority of it are over. We watched the last game of the season last Saturday between Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal. PSG made history by winning the back-to-back UEFA Champions League. There has been only one other team that accomplished the achievement in the 21st century, which is Real Madrid, arguably the greatest club in the world because they have 15 Champions League. Those guys, whenever you talk to them, they just say, yeah, we have 15, So PSG joined them in that category. And Paris Saint-Germain, Luis Enrique made history. Now he joined the pantheon of the great manager, winning 3 Champions League, especially with a different team. I know Pep Guardiola won two with Barcelona and 1 with Manchester City. And Luis Enrique won 1 with Barcelona and 2 with PSG. I know the only coach that won more than those 2 is Carlo Ancelotti. He have 5 Champions League. I think 3 with Real Madrid, 2 with AC Milan. And you have Zinedine Zidane who had 3 Champions League. So he entered in that small circle of great manager. And we saw Unai Emery with Aston Villa winning the Europa League yet again, 5 in his career so far. And we saw Crystal Palace for the first time in the club history winning the Conference League. So we had some team that really had a great season. And we saw Arsenal celebrate the Premier League in the street of London. They come out by million. According to the news, is 1.5 million, which is the biggest gathering of human crowd in the history of the country. I mean, can you imagine if Arsenal had won the Champions League and the Premier League? Nobody would sleep. It would have been 10 million on the street, right? So thanks to PSG for saving the world from that pollution, and congratulations to Arsenal. I may be a Chelsea fan, but I don't like them, but I'm a partial, right? I do this because I love the game, and I know I have only 2 or 3 people who watch these videos constantly. I know nobody's watching at 2-minute mark right now. If you're watching it, please comment below, and then so I know some people are watching, and this year I didn't have a chance to talk a lot about Chelsea Football Club, because I have to pay my bill, people. I have to go to work, and now I want to talk a little bit about our season as a Chelsea fan. I know if you're still here, you're probably a Chelsea fan and you want to know what some crazy people on the internet talk about the club, right? I'm one of them. I love the game. I was brave enough to be in front of the camera. I don't care what other people say, I just hope one day we have a strong community to follow this update. So we're gonna try to talk about Chelsea Football Club. Today they released a video during which they were showing the players that are going to the World Cup. We saw Enzo Fernandez, we saw like Cucurella, we saw all the like Mamadou Sarr, and then we saw Heto. So like all the Chelsea players that are going to the World Cup was in that video. And it was sad that I didn't see Cole Palmer or João Pedro, because I think João Pedro deserved to be in that Brazil squad. Compared to every single striker Brazil have there, he had a better season than all of them. But he did not make it. So Ancelotti is Ancelotti, right? He made his decision, and I think João Pedro have to just live with it and then work hard and then to get back into it. So those are some of the Chelsea Football Club players that did not make it into the World Cup, and I want to address the Chelsea Football Club season. The season has been really tough. We endured a turbulent 25-26 season. It was really a hard season to watch. We experienced a lot of inconsistency and managerial changes, because like everything was all right. We had a mixed performance, During the summer, we came into this season as the world champion. We're still the world champion, right? And across competition, we represented well. Like, if you ask me, we went into the Carabao Cup semi-final. We were eliminated by Arsenal. That was the first game of Liam Rezano, and then he lost both of them against Arsenal. And then Arsenal went on to lose the final against Manchester City, Pep Guardiola and his boy. We need to drop video about every single team, just to make more content. And of course, the club began the campaign under Enzo Maresca. We all know, like Enzo Maresca, his first season was good. He took us into the Champions League, and he took us into Conference League winner, and then Club World Cup winner, but it didn't work out, And we competed in the Champions League, and the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and the Premier League. And we lost the FA Cup final against Manchester City. It was sad to watch because it didn't look like we could have won that game. And the Champions League, we finished 9th. And this year, Chelsea lost we lost to teams like Everton, right? If like Forest, Manchester City, Brighton, And like Sunderland, those are just one of the teams. We lost 13 games this season, which is a historical. Like 13 game, 11 red card. Yes, we had 11 red card. That was a record too. We set some crazy damn record. So 11 red card, 13 defeat, and I think we had more than 12 or 10 tie. The season ended. We ended at the 9th place because I did not want us to go back to the Conference League. I know we are struggling right now, but I don't think we are a team that play in that category, right? We are a team that need and must to compete in European competition like the Champions League. We need to be there. We need to be competing for the Premier League. I know the old school people in the 90s, 60s, 70s, those guys, yeah, they were just like, okay, it's a Chelsea, we go up and then we do what we can and then we go back, right? But like the new generation, like we were born into a success that Chelsea was dominant, right? We were like, when we were like young, 5, 6, Chelsea in 2003, 2004, that's when Roman Abramovich took over. And in a span of 21 years, he won 2 Champions League. And then he won like 5 Premier League. And then I think a lot of, because in the last 20 years, Chelsea Football Club won 21 trophy. I think we won more trophy than any club in the Premier League in the last 20 years. So we are top there, unless if Manchester City really moved ahead of us, because that team, Pep Guardiola alone won 20 team with City. So I think but he was there like since 2013, 14. So maybe City had more trophy than us. But overall, this season it was disappointing. It was a total disappointment. The owner did not handle it well. BlueCo with the strategy, it didn't work, because sacking or letting Maresca resign was one of the biggest mistakes. I mean, the first biggest mistake was taking over the club. They shouldn't have get into this business. I don't think they know what they're doing in this kind of making money, because these guys they want to make money, but they choose the wrong club. I'm pretty sure if they bought like Brighton or like Ajax or Lyon, they would be happy, because those teams are known to be a producer of talent. And Chelsea Football Club has been a very competitive team for the past 20 years. So it would be hard to just switch our mindset, the Chelsea Football Club fan mindset, to just say, yeah, we are a trading club. I don't think it worked that way. I think the marketing or like the targeting was wrong, because they targeted the wrong club. Although we can thank the British government for putting us in that situation, because without the British sanction on Roman Abramovich, because of Russia aggressing the Ukraine, which he doesn't have control over. The dude is not a civil servant of that country. He doesn't work in the government. He doesn't make decisions. But they just, hey, you're Russian. Russia attacked someone, so you have money, so we're going to punish you. That's a collective punishment. That's what they're doing. So they punish the oligarch, and Chelsea Football Club, we got caught in that crossfire. And so since then, BlueCo took over. They made mistake after mistake. They spent like 1.5, 1.6 billion pound on players that cannot compete at the highest level. It's okay. I like the players. Some of them, I like them, but some of them look like fraud. Because I think, for me, Garnacho, he's a good player, right? But I don't think he's the player that can take us to a Premier League or a Champions League win. They do have only one trick. And like Estevao is too young, all right? Enzo Fernandez, I think we're going to lose him, Enzo Fernandez, I think he's one of the best players we have for the past 2 or 3 seasons, if he's not the best player, alongside with Reece James and Caicedo, right? Those guys are top players. And even Pedro Neto. Like there are players, they really perform really well in some manager, and then when some manager come, they just put them in the wrong place, and then they became a ghost of themselves. That's what we're having, like Jeremy Gaten. So like we bought a lot of players, and we are not using them the right way. And now we announced the appointment of Xavier Alonso. Is a great manager. He proved it when he took over. Leverkusen was fighting for a relegation, and he took them to an historic Bundesliga golden era, because he won the league without losing a single game. That season, the only game they lost was against Atlanta, the 3-0 loss against Atlanta in the Europa League final, during which Adamola Lookman cooked really good that day, right? But now he's at Chelsea, and we're gonna see if they're gonna give him what he needs to perform, because Maresca left. Now he's gonna be at City. Like Maresca gonna replace Manchester City head coach, because Pep Guardiola left, and we're gonna see how he's gonna perform. But what he saw us at Chelsea, he can perform at the highest level if he have the material. And because he didn't get a center back, he quit. And now we're gonna see how Xavier Alonso gonna